Like,
Correct.
if the aliens come to this planet and they say, who created everybody on this planet, until they meet God, the answer is the woman.
Why is pussy like a
Yes.
fax machine?
Because if when you fuck her, she makes a copy of you.
Continue.
So a fax machine is taking an original image and then making copies of this image. Preserving this image's copy. And if I make 10 of them, at some point they won't look as close to this, but this process is a mechanical process. And everything is predicated on this. Like, we live in a society where we get a chance to decide whether women get rights or decide how much a woman should decide about her. But everybody on this planet came from a woman. It's the one discussion we cannot be in.
You're goddamn right.
My nigga.
Like,
correct.
If the aliens come to this planet and they say, who created everybody on this planet, until they meet God, the answer is the woman.
Correct.
Which is why in everybody's religious books, the woman is the end all be all of all things.
Okay.
Even if it's Adam and Eve, or if it's God and the devil got in a fight and Satan got thrown down here. Okay, so Satan and the demons came down to the earth and they could have had anything on the earth, but all they wanted was pussy. And nobody's book says they wanted anything other than that. There was never any stories of diamonds or gold or oil or anything being valuable to anybody's supernatural except women. They saw women made bodies and then had sex with them, and that's all it says. You have to understand the importance of that as a commodity in your world. It's bigger than the act of the enjoyable sex. It's the fact that you come from there. So a society that's having a struggle, figuring out who's on top and who's on the bottom and who should have the most rights and who shouldn't, and that's a bad recipe. So that joke is about the importance of the vagina. Like, we would have to have everybody who has a business that sells eggs or omelets is having to deal with the fact that the cost of eggs is now extraordinary, and it used to not be.
Correct.
And you were paying $40 for a case, and now you're paying $120 for a case, but you can't raise the price on an omelet because you're already at the maximum price for 2 scrambled eggs. And you lose your customers. You pass on. You see what I'm saying?
Yes.
What I'm saying is never can the most valuable thing be taken for granted.
Amen.
That's what that joke is
Amen.
The fax machine.
Amen. Amen. It is the most valuable thing. I don't think women even understand that sometimes. For you to say that, and for me to be a woman and ask you to explain that, talks about sometimes how they don't understand the value in that. But once they do, it turns it into a whole nother game. Like, once you understand its value, it changes everything.
But they've always known the value. That's why they made sure that every woman represented in the Bible was either a whore or a reformed whore.
Tell me about that. Why do you think that was in the Bible? Whore,
because in a male-driven society, there's no way that we can let women be uplifted, or that's the end of that discussion.
Correct. And they have to make sure they try to anyway, keep us down.
It is necessary that it be done. We don't have to get into how many religions don't let women talk.
Well, we're in a society right now. You mentioned it very casually, but Roe versus Wade, everything's on the fucking table. If they are overturning Roe versus Wade,
things that aren't allowed to be on the table, they're not even allowed to be on the table.
Correct.
There isn't a person qualified to take a woman's right on this planet.
Correct.
There isn't a woman, there isn't a person that's qualified to call it into question. Only because no one has ever questioned a man's right. Because who would do it?
And if they did, it wouldn't even be, if a man could give birth, this wouldn't even be a fucking question. We wouldn't even be having this conversation. How's a man gonna tell me about something he's never done before ever, and what it should be and what it shouldn't be? This shit's crazy. It's crazy.
As soon as men are in charge of contraception, that will be the end of civilization, because there's not going to be any more babies. That's the end of that.
It is a wrap.
So what I'm trying to do is not be funny in these specials. I'm trying to have a conversation that's not being had. And I'm really sorry that these conversations are being had by a comedian. I wish too that it was a religious leader of some kind having this conversation, or somebody's politician talking about this stuff. I'm talking about legalizing weed 10 years before it happens.
Correct.
And going to jail for it in every city and state while having my doctor's prescription. And nobody cares that I'm going to jail. They just assume I must be doing something to get me there. And they don't even care if I get out, because they just assume, I guess he must have paid them off. Like, it's crazy what we allow in a society that we say is free. Even if we believe that Roe versus Wade was a problem, we vote on everything in this country. We vote on the PTA. We vote at the city council level. When did anybody vote on this stupid, unpopular thing? No, they don't. Never. It's not even left. It's just because they need to do things that have never been done before. In order to do that, you need to do some stuff that's never been done before.
Tell them, I'm not gay no more. I am delivered. I don't like men no more. I said I like women. Women. I said women. I'm not gay. I would not date a man. I would not carry a purse. I would not put on makeup. I will love a woman.